Yes, I'm with Lee this morning. Lee's Jersey born, 23 years old, a bricklayer by trade. How's the world treating you at the moment, Lee?
Could be better, I'd say, with the situation with this work and that over here. There's just nothing going on and that, you know.
How long since you worked?
Be about 4 weeks now.
What happens to somebody like yourself, young bloke, you need a bit of money in your pocket, work dries up, what happens?
Well, you go to the social security that should be helping you if you have paid your social and tax. But you go down there, you fill in these forms and it just seems to be trouble all the way. Like for instance, I filled in the forms a week before I finished work, so I knew I was finishing, the work was running out at the end of the week. I went in, seen them, filled the forms in. I went back say a week and a half later, something like that, said, oh, what's scoring that? And they said they lost my paperwork. And I was like, oh, then they found it again. Then I went in on the second week. I said, oh, I've not had no money now for like a week and a half. I'm literally at a point, I'm starving and not having net in days. Is there anything you can do to help me? Nah, can't do nothing. So
no emergency payments, no funds?
No emergency payments. Asked for a crisis loan situation, just none at all. Like,
nothing.
Just nah, we don't care, leave, like.
Does the old parish system feature at all? Is it any good knocking on the door at the town hall? Have they got any assistance to offer?
Nah.
Nothing at all?
Knock on town hall, they send you back down to them.
They send you back down to the Social Security Department?
I had to go to Citizens Advice in the end, where I spoke to them within 10 minutes. He'd sorted out all the door and that, they found all my paperwork, they had everything in order, and Citizens Advice had to give me food vouchers.
And that's what they've done, they give you food vouchers?
Two food vouchers.
What do you actually do with it? You take them anywhere, any shop, or
go to the Grand Marché and other shops like that, and it's literally is for just food.
How about your rent and other essentials? What do you have to do about that?
They don't expect you to tell your landlord the situation. Your landlord's supposed to say, oh yeah, don't worry about it, take a month for it, it's alright, you know, when in reality that ain't the case. You don't, like, you know, you're living in one of these places where it's non-quals like I am, you don't have the money, you're out, you've not got no set contract.
So even though you've got quals, you're living in a non-quals place and you've got no security whatsoever. Yeah. Just throw you out, just the same as anybody else. Is there, because it's a non-quals place, in theory, do you know, could you get rent rebate for it, or the equivalent of rent rebate?
You couldn't get no rent rebate because it's not a quals place.
Well, that's interesting. You were a bricklayer by training. I think you did. Where did you do that?
Yeah, I've done training at Highlands College.
Highlands. Any other courses on offer? Any other training you've tried?
Yeah, I was up there doing apprenticeshipy, and I've also done paint and decorating.
You've done those?
Yeah, I've done the paint and decorating.
Okay. What do when you've been down there, it's been 4 weeks or so, what do they say to you now? Do they offer you jobs, or do they say training, or what's on offer now?
Well, at the minute, at the social, they haven't offered me any training. I've even offered to do this parachute scheme, but they say it's going to be months, and basically I'm not going to get on.
They've said that there's going to be too many, don't even try.
Yeah, but more or less, like, you know, in their way of saying it, without letting any of their sales saying they ain't saying it. And so yeah, I've seen the career thing down there, I've seen it, so I went on my own accord, seen what courses they had. So I wasn't aware they'd done these courses, and they do, and I managed to get on the ECDL one.
Right. And where does it actually operate from?
That operates from inside the Social Security.
In the Social Security.
Yeah.
So you're on that course, and is it going well?
Starting it today, in fact.
Right. Is that an exam course?
Yeah, that's an exam.
And will you be able to pay for exams? Do they pay for exams? What happens then?
Well, this thing, I'm assuming that it's a free one, or they're covering it, because they haven't hit me with cost yet, but you know, they didn't give us a lot of information when I went to see them. They just give me the day and time to come down.
In the building trade generally, is that work drying up? Is it getting more and more difficult?
Oh yeah, it's definitely drying up, like, you know, it's just, the wages have gone down major style. People ain't just taking on anyone now, like the labour would get taken on, it's now through companies, and the companies are paying literally just above minimum wage, and above minimum wage ain't good if you're on like a high tax. Like, say for instance, minimum wage, £7 I think is standard that these companies pay, so it's about £300 you get in total at the end of the week, and then you lose 6% social, and say you lose 6% tax, that's straight away £60 out your wages. And then
has your hourly rate gone down? Have you noticed it recently?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, it's when it used to be a good few years back, 3 years back, it was like, you know, 10, 11. And that was standard. Like, now it's £7. You know, if not worse. Of some.
What reason do the employers give for it going down? Why is it going down?
Too many people. Like, too many people. People offering, like, you know, some people work for a lot lower wage and be happy at that. You know, it's just that the whole situation is gone.
Do they? I mean, obviously, in the good old days, they used to offer bonuses and all that. Is that they obviously don't.
Bonuses, man. Be lucky to get a free drink, man, on Friday.
Really?
Christmas parties, Jesus, man. That'd be a really good company to
Is it? I mean, it used to be in the bad old days. It was really hire and fire. Is the building industry still like that? Is it hire and fire?
Oh, definitely. Like it's more like now. It's your employer doesn't need you. You need your employer. You know, and that's how it is now. Like, you know, and it's one of them. It's, you know, I know people that are traded that are just given a day's notice, this and that. Like, you know, getting a contract these days is hard, man.
So you live in accommodation without security of tenure. You've got jobs which are liable to end rather unexpectedly. It's a very unstable sort of existence, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so, definitely.
And are many people in the same situation?
Yeah, loads of people. I know everyone, practically most people I know, they're either in jobs or they're in jobs and they don't know what's going to last. And, you know, and this is people that, you know, they're really qualified and good, like.
How do they cope with it?
Not good, like, you know, just the best you can, like, try and struggle through it.
People who haven't got qualies, you must meet them on your travels, housing qualies.
Yes.
What do they do? Because obviously they've got even less chance of getting help.
Well, to be honest, people I've met, you know, that've got non-qualies and that, they seem to be, you know, it's pretty bad for them as well. But they seem to live alright situation, man, you know.
I mean, obviously, the official line is always a vote in the morning for people without qualies, if you've reason. But you're a local guy with qualies. You've got expectations to stay here, create a family, whatever you want to do.
That shouldn't happen to me because the system's like running out of ideas and being let down. Like
socially, what happens? I mean, obviously, if you're out of work, you can't afford to do a great deal. What happens there?
Nothing. You do nothing but. You know, me personally, I try and look for work, but it's, you know, you can only look so long, and then there's nothing in the day, and then what you're supposed to do the rest of the day, plot around doing nothing. Right.
People, I mean, obviously we hear a lot of people go out and get drunk. If you haven't got money, you can't get drunk.
What? Jesus, man, you go to the park and they all seem to live the life of Riley, man.
Do they?
And I bet they don't go down that social, like. But they still get their money, no problems and that.
There's an election coming up. This is why I'm interviewing you, because it's election time. What do you think of that? Do you think that has got any meaning as far as you're concerned?
Well, I'd like to think it does, and it's a thing, but you know, it's just nothing seems to be changing. That just seems to be getting worse as such.
Have you voted previously?
Not previously, but I will be.
You will be voting this time?
Definitely.
They loosely describe them, people like Nick, who's in this patch, they describe them as progressives. Does that mean anything to you? Do you think there are such things as progressive candidates?
Yeah, there is definitely progressive candidates. It's people that want change as much as everyone else, but everyone, you know, you can't sit there saying nothing. You have to actually get up and get moving and do something about it.
Obviously, there's a lot of very wealthy people in the States, the governments, people who don't need to be there, they're just there as hobby politicians. People like yourselves who have a struggle, what do you make of it? What do you interpret all that as?
Well, they sit there, they don't care at the end of the day, so they go home, they don't have a problem with lecky or getting a pint of milk and that. They don't have a problem, they'll sit there either way.
What's lecky?
Electricity.
What happens, I mean, you're in a non-quals place. As you say, if you can't pay the bills, you just literally get thrown out. What would happen if you were in a qualified place? What would happen then? Same thing, I suppose.
Well, if I was in a qualified place, I'd be standing with the contract as such that they would have to give me some notice.
Right, but you still have to pay the rent. You still want Social Security or somebody to help you if you've got no money.
Well, if you've got no money, then, you know, in the social thing, you tell these people that, you know, you're going to get the money, it's just going to be then. But, you know, a lot of these landlords and that, they don't want to be messed around. They get told these will install these all the time. So either they want people in that are paying the money. They've got obviously families and that to pay themselves, like, you know.
Do you have brothers, sisters here?
No, I have no brothers, sisters, no family.
So you can't fall back on family for support in that way?
No, I can't fall back.
You've got to support yourself, and if the work's not there, it's difficult.
If the work's not there, it's like a thing, you know, it's difficult. I had to go to the Citizens Advance to get, you know, luckily they sort of did some food vouchers. Otherwise, I was, you know, geez, I might have had to go in the main town there, but change like moving a guitar.
Right. So we'll show this interview to Deputy Gorst, and perhaps we'll get some comments from him.
Perhaps, you know, we'll see. It's not comments, we want changes.
Very good. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Cheers.